Good morning, guys. This is day 4 of our Before I Rise series, day 4. So we're at that pretty much the halfway mark, 7 days that we have left. Today, I am coming from the There Is More Bible Plan MIU version app for day 4. And today's devotional is Get Ready. Now, though I struggled with this devotion, I started reading it last night. And as I was reading it, I was like, what am I supposed to be getting from this message? Like, it just was not clear at all. And I was like, what am I supposed to be getting from this message? And then I read it again. And it was pretty long because the scriptures from it is Acts 10, 1 through 48, and then Philippians 4 and 6, which is only one verse. And I read it, and then I looked at it again before I went to bed. So I think I pretty much went over it like 3 times, and then again this morning. So I was starting to, sorry guys, my computer has to update for work. I was going over, trying to pick something out, and I was like, Lord, what do you want me to get out of this lesson? And it really didn't hit me until today. So this story opens up with talking about 2 men. One was Peter and one was the Jewish centurion whose name is Cornelius. And Peter is considered a Gentile in this story, and Cornelius is considered a man of Jewish history. So both of these men had visions, different types of visions. And I've read this passage before, but in a different aspect when it came to Peter. And so the visions weren't exactly, I guess, made clear as to what I was supposed to get from it. So it took a while, and I had to say a little prayer, and probably said 2 prayers because I wanted to make sure that I understood what I was reading. And so in Peter's vision, it talks about him seeing a blanket come from the air, and it was all sorts of food, and God told him to eat from it. And Peter said that the food was unclean, and God said, don't, anything that I give or I provide with, do not call unclean. And it happened 3 times, and then the blanket went away. And Cornelius also had a vision, and his vision was that an angel came to him and said God had heard his prayers, and pretty much that help was on the way. Now, back in that day, the Gentiles and the Jews did not fellowship or congregate. So in Cornelius' vision, the angel told him to get his men and for them to go seek out Peter and bring Peter back to where he was, to Joppa, I believe. No, Joppa was one of the men that called for Simon Peter. So he brought him back, and Cornelius got his whole entire family together because he was like, Peter's coming. Well, yeah, Peter's coming, and he has a word for us. So when Peter got there, he asked, why did you call me? And Cornelius explained to him that, about his vision and what he saw. And Peter said, normally the Gentiles and the Jews do not fellowship or mesh. And he said, but the Lord told us that we were to hear what you had to say. And so it was then that Peter realized that that they had the same God focus, and that he was not to separate them or treat them differently than a Gentile because of that, because they had the same focus and they had the same love for God. And so he went on to explain whatever it was that God gave him. And from that point, I was like, oh, okay. So the title was Get Ready. And let me read the last part of it, because the last part of and I forgot to show y'all what time it was. It's actually 6:17 now, so it's probably like 6:15 when I started. But the last part of the devotion, it states that God weaves their experience together, that by the time they collide, something happens. It is in this moment that we see the providence of God. God is not just getting you ready for something. God is getting something ready for you. So God is getting them both ready. So as he is getting Cornelius ready for something, which was an answered prayer, he was preparing Peter for Cornelius. And I just thought that was amazing as to how we are to treat one another here on earth, that just because someone is of a different faith, that we should not treat them differently, that we should treat them as if they love God and as if we have the same motive. And so that was very it was hard for me to pull that out. It was really, I'm not gonna lie, it was hard for me to pull that out and correlate it, because it took a couple of readings for me to understand and to correlate the food with the different people and the different ethnicities and faiths, that our help is coming, and it may not be coming in the form that we are looking for. So we may be looking for Sally Mae to come and deliver a word or a message, and it's coming from Susie Q, who has nothing to do with anything that we are a part of. But if God sent it, if he sent the help, and if he sent the word, that we are to accept it and not reject it just because it is different, which in this society we do. Because something is different, it's not like us, we tend to shun it, to shy away from it. And God said, no, I am preparing this person to deliver you from this, or to help you with that. And so therefore we are to take this example and just learn how to receive from others. And that was just, when I finally got it, I was like, oh, okay, this is what you're trying to say. All right. But it took a while. It took a couple of readings. I had to read it in different versions, which I always do. And I did tell you, X1, let me just make sure. It was long, so I didn't read it. Philippians 1:6. So I'll read this one, where it says, I am convinced and confident of this very thing, that he who has begun a good work in you will continue to perfect and complete it until the day of Jesus Christ, the time of his return. And the other verses were Acts 10:1-48. So whatever it is that God is going to complete in you, it may not be coming the way that you want. So have an open heart, have open ears, and be receptive to whatever God has for you in whatever way God has for you. All right, guys, that is it for today, day 4. If you like this video, make sure you click that like button down below and subscribe to my channel. I will have a link with the playlist of all the videos, or at the end of the video, you'll see another one from yesterday. Make sure you watch that video. Leave me a comment down below, and have a great day, guys. Love and blessings. See ya.